Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Paper Cuts. Today we're going to be making these wonderful snowflakes. You can make them in any color you want. Christmas, winter, rainbow. It's perfect for rainbows because you're using 6 sheets of paper so you can have 6 colors. So this is fairly simple, but it also gets a little bit tedious, so I would recommend it for older kids or to do yourself because it's pretty relaxing and you get a really nice decoration out of it. We are going to start with 6 pieces of paper. You can use big paper, you can use little paper, you can use whatever paper you want. It does need to be square. You're going to need a stapler. You will need a glue stick or some kind of glue. You can use regular school glue. And you're going to need scissors. First thing we're going to do is take a piece of paper. We're going to fold it into a big triangle. And you want to have your fold as precise as possible because this does matter. It doesn't matter quite as much as it does when you're doing origami, but it's still pretty good to have a nice lined up fold. It helps with the overall look later. We're going to fold it again, and then we're going to cut our triangle into strips, mostly into strips. So for the strips, you can either eyeball the width because you want all of your strips to be the same width. You can eyeball it or you can measure. I'm going to eyeball it because I've done several of these. I find it is a little bit quicker to just eyeball it, and I can generally make all my strips the same width. So you see we have that open end and that closed end. I'm going to start cutting from the open end and make my first little strip. I'm going to cut almost to the edge, but not all the way to the edge. So I get this little strip that flaps around. And then I'm going to cut the next strip. Let's get you a closer look. And I'm trying to make all my strips the same width. And I'm trying to cut straight across, which is difficult. So especially if you're having a younger kid do this, you may want to measure, and you can practice cutting on a line. You can practice your measuring. So now I'm going to open it up. And this is what we're going to start gluing. Did forget to mention you're going to need a pencil. Just a regular number 2 pencil, because that's going to be how we start our shape. I'm going to lay it across the middle. I'm going to put glue on the corners of my first little triangle in the middle. And then I'm going to fold my inner triangle over my pencil to make a little tube. Alright, and then I'm going to take my pencil out and flip my paper over. And then I'm going to put glue on the corners of my next strips, and I'm going to glue them together. I will flip over the paper and repeat the process. Just make sure you're flipping your paper over each time, because if you don't, it messes up your pattern. Again, just put a little glue on the corner or the point of your strip. And now we do the last one and we'll be done. You can kind of see what I mean when I said it's a little bit tedious, because now we need to make 6 of these. And then I'll show you how to put them together. So let's get to cutting. All right, now we have all 6 of our pieces, and I'm going to put them together. Now remember, we've got 3 loops on one side, we've got 2 on the other, so I want to have a 2 loop facing a 3 loop side, and that makes it look a little more even. So I'm going to lay them out in order. I'm also going to alternate my colors, and the way you're going to put these together is in 2 parts. So I'm going to put 3 together, and then I'm going to put the other 3 together, and then I'm going to put them all together. We're going to use our stapler for that. Okay, now that I've got that sorted out, I'm going to pick 3. I'm going to put the end points together, and then we're going to staple those together. You can use glue, but it just doesn't hold together as well as a staple because this is kind of heavy for glue. So I'm going to staple pretty high up on my triangles, and I'll show you where. And then I'm going to put this one together, and then we're going to put them all together. So put all 3 together, I'm going to hold it, and then I'm going to staple it. Sorry, that's not very well in frame. It's having a little bit of trouble. All right, now it is time to put the pieces together. And this is probably the most difficult part. So I have my 2 little staple pieces, and I'm going to put them together, and I'm going to staple them. Now you want to put your little corners far enough together so that it'll look pretty full, but you also have to get your stapler in there. As you can see, I am struggling with the stapler because it is catching all my little loops. So we're going to have to try again. This is the difficult part. This is why this is better for older children or adults, because it can be kind of frustrating. All right, try it one more time. Put my points together. I'm going to slide stapler in and staple that together. I'll show you guys. There's the staple. And there we go. There is a nice little snowflake for you. And remember, you can do any color you want. You can do winter colors. You can do a rainbow like I did. This is a really fun decoration. It's pretty cheap to make. It's just some paper. But thank you guys for joining us for Paper Cuts, and we'll see you again next week.